Hello photography fans, and welcome to another episode about classic cameras and classic photo gear. As promised, in today's episode, I'm going to show you how to test your fixer. It is an important thing to make sure your chemicals work, especially when you're developing an important roll of film. Nothing is worse than being done with the film and it turns out that either the developer is bad or your fixer was shot. So today let's focus on the fixer. What I like to do is pre-mix my chemicals. I store them in 1 liter bottles and use them as needed. Chemicals do lose their potency, so after a while they are shot. They won't work as good as they did the first day you mixed them. Even the stock solution, I buy Ilford fixer and they say that you can sit in fully closed bottles for about 24 months. But once you open it, once you start pouring it out, 6 months to a year probably tops. I try to keep my chemicals up to a year. Now, chemicals aren't very expensive, so it's a good thing to just toss it out if you're unsure about the day you purchased it. What I do is label whenever a new chemical shows up. I label, put a date on it, so I can go from there. Once you pre-mix the chemical with water, I like to label that and keep it no longer than 6 months. Sometimes less. The rule for me is about 15 to 20 rolls of film, 120, and chemistry goes down the drain. I don't like to keep it any longer. For example, stop bath is an indicator stop. So once it loses its potency, it becomes purple. I don't wait that long. I just dump it out. It's $7 a bottle, and you mix it 1 to 19. So it will go a long way. For developer, I use Rodinal. Rodinal is known for long shelf life. I heard somewhere they found the Rodinal that was like 50 or 60 years old and it still worked fine. My Rodinal never goes beyond a year and a half. It's a cheap chemical. You buy it, it starts turning dark and dark. It becomes this Coca-Cola dark. And usually from there, a couple more months and I like to dump it. Even though I could still use it, if something goes wrong, it dies and you just lost film. So it's not worth the risk. But today we're going to focus on a fixer and I'll show you how to test fixer before running it with film, so you can see what to expect and how to do it, how to test it. First of all, we're going to need our chemicals. And we're going to need a sacrificial roll of film. Let's get that out. I'm going to use a pair of tongs to stir the film in so I don't mess up my priestly beautiful hands. Here I got a Ilford Rapid fixed, mixed 1 to 4. What I'm going to need to do is pour some of it out into our test container. Now, this bottle was pre-mixed end of July 2017, so it's less than 6 months old. I'm going to test it, probably run maybe 2 or 3 rolls of film and dump it out. I'm going to open up Arista E100 film. For this purpose we're going to use 35mm so that I don't have to waste a whole roll of 120. And we're going to just cut a little piece like that. So what we do is very simple. We take our film, we need our stopwatch, and what we're going to do is put that film unexposed, undeveloped, just fresh film. Put it inside our container and start a timer. Stir it a little bit so it's submerged. And what we're looking for is the film to clear. And we're going to measure the time. What you need to, the way you do it is, once the film is cleared, means it becomes transparent, clean, clear, you double that time. And that's your minimum fixing time. So let's say my film clears within 2 minutes. I double that, so my minimum fixing time is 4 minutes. Now you don't want to go crazy. Let's say your film clears within 5 minutes. You don't want to do fixing for 10 minutes. Dump that fixer out and pour a new one. Most fixing is no more than 5 minutes. So you don't want to be running your film 10 minutes or more. Alright. So once this is done, our film is clear. It's transparent. And my timer was about 1 minute 30 seconds. So my minimum fixing time should be about 3 minutes. A little bit less. I'm fixing my film for 5 minutes anyways, so I know it's going to work. But that's how you test your fixer. If your fixer won't clear the film within reasonable amount of time, such as 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it's not worth keeping it. Dump it out. If you're going to get your film not fixed, it's going to be all milky and nasty with streaks and stuff. It's not worth the headache. So that's how you clear. That's how you test your fixer. Until next time, keep shooting film. Keep the film alive.